Training for track and field is such an intricate process. Now, many may think that in order to get better at running, you just need to run more, but there are some very specific things that you need to follow during the year in order to get those PRs that you're looking for. Periodization just means that there are specific periods of time during different portions of the year that you need to be doing different things to better your performance. So this video will break down the periodization training for high school and college athletes to be able to help them train properly to get those PRs for next season. So many will claim that they are speed trainers, but you should be aware of the bigger picture so that your athlete does not train like a football player, do weight training to add unwanted bulky muscle, burn out, peak too early, or even get injured. And please, if you want your athletes to continue to stay fast as a sprinter, do not put them in cross country to get in shape. Now, the first phase is resting from a long season. So if you're new to track and field, then this might not apply to you, but most athletes that are just finishing off of the season need to take at least 3 to 4 weeks off to rest. Now, this doesn't mean to sit on the couch and watch Netflix all day, but it also gives you a chance to rest from those overuse injuries such as shin splints, those nagging hamstring things. So this is fantastic time to be able to go to PT and get that figured out, go on vacation with your family, and do those things that you normally don't get to do or missed out on during your season. So it's a perfect time to be able to just rest mentally and physically, because after those 4 weeks, you will be right back at it. So phase 2, summer strength training. Now, this is my absolute favorite part of training for track and field, and I emphasize proper strength training because that is secret to getting those PRs for the next season. Now, training for track and field, strength training for track and field is exactly that, building for pure raw strength. Now, strength is then translated into force production, which means you're going to run faster, jump further, jump higher, throw further. Strength training is also a great tool for injury prevention. A stronger body means that we're able to withstand the great strain that track and field can inflict on your body. So a good question is, what should track and field athletes do at the gym? Well, strength training and lifting weights for track and field is very, very specific. Since our focus is on building strength, we want to avoid building too much muscle that will end up slowing us down and being dead weight. This comes from knowing how many sets and repetitions to do in order to keep the focus on building strength instead of building muscle. While things like CrossFit and F45 look appealing to get you in shape, they will not be specific enough to get those PRs that you're looking for. Exercises that will be taught in my strength program consist of 5 core lifts for general strength training, along with some targeted accessory work to help train the functional movements of track and field. These lifts include squat, deadlift, bench press, overhead press, and power cleans. These lifts consist of repetitions no more than 5, and as anything over 6 creates muscle hypertrophy, that means muscle growth, instead of building strength. Accessory work includes stuff like plyometrics, core stability, injury prevention for things like shin splints, arm exercises, and more. So the benefit of this style training is that it will help an athlete be faster, stronger, more explosive for actually any sport. So if you are a dual sport athlete, this is actually really beneficial for you and can only help you. So how often should a track and field athlete strength training? Well, strength training is important to do almost year round, and it will look different during different periods of time during the season. But training in the summer while school is out helps the athlete prepare for and avoid injury, while base training in the fall. So summer training will consist of lifting 2 to 3 days a week with maybe a few days of sprint technique work added as well. So that moves us into phase 3, which is fall base training. While you'll continue to strength train for about 2 to 3 days a week in the fall, this is the time where we start adding some running. So with summer being about strength and technical work, you are now ready to jump in to create your cardio base. Some may consider this the hell months of training. All this means is that it's time for your body to start getting back in running shape again. So, what type of running should high school and college athletes do in the fall? Running in the fall consists of things like tempo runs, fartleks, and technical sprint work. So, there will be a lot of technical training to catch bad running form and different things that we need to fix. Things like hurdle drills will be done for every athlete to help improve hip mobility and flexibility. And each workout will consist of a good warm up, more extensive work on learning and practicing track drills to improve form. And then the bulk of the workout will be things that are more volume of running at a lesser intensity. So there's no reason why you should be in spikes sprinting 100% every single day at this time. And after the main workout, a proper cool down should be done, followed by stretching and rolling out. Now, this moves us into phase 4 for winter specific, event specific work. Wintertime moves us from taking the strength that we've built in the summer, our base training that we've built in the fall, and gives you the foundation that you need to start diving into your technical event specific work. Now, this is a great time for athletes to try new events, to see if there's a different event that they might be good at or want to try. So this means that the jumpers are getting their marks, the hurdlers are breaking down their stepping in between the hurdles, and sprinters are maybe starting to get off the blocks and getting more of that technical work done. So while you continue to strength train and get your base training in, this is a great time to explore other events and see if there's anything different that you want to try for that season. This is also the time where spikes tend to be brought out. We want to closely monitor how often racing spikes are used, just because those who are more prone to overuse injuries like shin splints should use them a little bit less. So finding the right balance for athletes will be at the coaches and athletes' discretion as to how much and how often they should wear them during this specific time. So when I talk about winter, I refer to about, for California athletes, about December to February. Although California schools do not compete in indoor season, some coaches may put their athletes in meets just as a performance check to kind of see where the athletes are sitting for that specific event. So this moves us into phase 5, which is spring, performing, and maintaining. So this last phase, it's go time. At this time, the athletes are going to be in their racing spikes every day. Everything we do is fast and efficient. And as we move into race mode, athletes will shift into more of a maintaining phase. So in the weight room, that means that we're going to be just doing fast and explosive things. They're going to be in spikes pretty much every day. And then as well as taking time to balance those injuries, those overuse injuries like shin splints and strained muscles, these will start to pop up. So because of this, this is where you need to spend extra time taking care of yourself, those ice baths, massages, stretching, all of the tools that you need to take care of yourself. Their race days will start to get to about twice a week if they're entered into the big invitationals. This leaves few days in between to really work, since race days are considered a hard workout day. So all in all, we just keep going as long as we can, and we're working to get the athletes to peak just at the right time. If they hit some of their fastest or best marks too early, it will be hard for them to maintain that all season. But if they trust the process and trust that we can get them to be hitting their best marks right when it counts the most, they'll be super, super excited. So for California athletes, that means that they're getting from league finals to CIF prelims to CIF finals to masters to state prelims and state finals. So the better you are, the longer your season will be. Sometimes you'll be competing from about March until maybe early June, just depending on how far you've made it. And that leads us right back to phase 1. So make sure that you and your athlete are taking the time to look at these different phases of training and different types of the year to make sure that you're getting the work that you need done to get where you want to be.